What if I told you I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before? Well, I'd be lying, but let me explain. A more accurate statement would be I've never beaten an Assassin's Creed game before. I've played 2 Assassin's Creed games at 2 points in my life. I played the Introduction to Brotherhood when I was like 8 and had no idea what I was doing, and I played the Introduction to Syndicate sometime in like middle school, but I don't remember a single thing from either game, which is why I have decided to play every single Assassin's Creed game, cover the story and the gameplay, and see what I've been missing out on. And also, these games have been sitting in my Steam library taunting me to play them for like 2 years now. I haven't bought Shadows yet, as I'm hoping it'll go on sale before I finish the rest of them. Well, that's enough of that. This video is about the game that started it all, Assassin's Creed 1. Meet Desmond Miles. He's been kidnapped and held against his will by these people that seem to be scientists for a company named Abstergo. Desmond has no idea why he's there and what they're doing to him, just that he has information they need. I guess you could say the work is mysterious but important. The scientists working with Desmond are Warren Vidic and Lucy Stillman, and they monitor Desmond as he uses the Animus to basically relive his ancestors' genetic memories. He's a descendant of the Assassins, an order of men whose goal was basically world peace and free will. And then there's the Templar Order, the sworn enemies of the Assassin's Creed. They also wish for world peace, however they believe tyranny is the only way to achieve it. So while the Templars believe the end justifies the means, the Assassins do not. This is a particularly frequent theme in Assassin's Creed 1. Now meet Altair, the ancestor of Desmond Miles and also the protagonist of the first game. Altair lives in Masyaf with the rest of the assassins under their master Al-Mualim. Al-Mualim sends Altair and 2 of his brothers to Jerusalem to retrieve some kind of treasure. And in these moments we see how foolish and arrogant Altair is, as he kills an innocent, which goes against the Assassin's Creed. Then Altair wants to kill Robert de Saul, even when he is warned not to by his brothers. He fails, and his arrogance seemingly gets his brothers killed in the process. After a monumentous failure, Altair returns to Masyaf to face Al-Mualim when one of the assassins, Malik, returns, and not empty-handed. He managed to retrieve the treasure that we were sent there for. But that's not all, he also brought Robert to Masyaf. We're under attack, but Altair sneaks around the army to spring the trap onto Robert's forces. This forces them to retreat, however, Altair is still in trouble.
Peace be upon you, Altair.
Okay, it was an illusion. Altair isn't dead, but Al-Mualim does strip him of his rank and equipment. And to earn it back, he has to kill 9 men whose death would aid in the ending of the Crusade and bring the Holy Land's peace. How will Altair find all 9 men? Welcome to the core gameplay loop of Assassin's Creed. There are 4 cities in Assassin's Creed, the first 2 you already know, Masyaf and Jerusalem, but there's also Acre and Damascus, which the first time you visit these cities you're forced to ride across some land separated by loading screens. I guess it was their first attempt at making the world feel more open, but it really just felt like a waste of time since there's nothing really to do outside the cities. Once you reach the city, you must report to the Assassin's Bureau leader in each city for some clues on where to start your search. You must climb viewpoints and synchronize at the top to find out who has information, and then retrieve the information by any means, either pickpocketing, interrogating, or completing a time challenge for some information. Once you gather all you need on your target, you return to the bureau leader who gives you permission to complete the assassination. And you'll notice, as Altair kills these men, in their final moments they say something that conflicts with Altair, and makes him question if what he's doing is right. And every time he brings these conflictions up to his master, Al-Mualim, he manipulates Altair to continue to kill these men. Altair believes in his master and believes that he's doing the right thing, and he seemingly grows as a character, leaving his arrogance behind. Unfortunately, he has one major flaw. Even though these men he kills are conflicting him, he still blindly follows his master's orders. The first man you kill, Tamir, is a bad guy, and after doing his research, Altair feels that killing him is the right decision. And in death, Tamir mentions a brotherhood. This would be a common reoccurrence over the course of the game. After returning to Masyaf, Al-Mualim sends us to Acre and Jerusalem, where we kill the next 2 targets, Garnier and Talal. However, while investigating the targets, we learn that all 3 of these targets have some sort of connection. After killing all 3, we return to Al-Mualim, who gives us our next 3 targets.
How did he do that?
Each of these men, when dying, also mention the previously mentioned brotherhood. What is this brotherhood? Well,
I demand you tell me what binds these men.
What you say is true. These men are connected by a blood oath not unlike our own.
Who are they?
Non nobis, domine non nobis.
Templars.
the Templars are after the treasure we recovered, the treasure which is known as the Piece of Eden. which Al-Mualim describes as,
The peace of Eden is temptation given form.
in between memory sequences, we get small modern day sections that will usually give us a little bit more information. Then we have to go to bed and in the morning hop right back into the Animus. But during these modern day sections, we get to learn more about these characters as well. Like Vidic is an asshole, and Lucy does care about Desmond and even reveals that Abstergo are actually Templars. And after what happened to Subject 15, she tries to make sure the same thing doesn't happen to Desmond. Oh, who's Subject 15? Well, just another assassin they kidnapped and kept inside the Animus for too long, so that, well, to simplify, he lost his mind. But in actuality, he started experiencing something called the bleeding effect, from spending too much time in the Animus. This basically blended his memories with his ancestors even outside the Animus, so he eventually lost his mind and slit his wrist, and with the blood left a message for Desmond in his room. We actually don't learn more about this till the next game, so we'll get to that another time. For now, let's get back to Altair. Al-Mualim gives us 2 more names that must be killed before we go after our final target. Our final target is Robert de Saw. We learn that he'll be attending a funeral. We infiltrate the funeral, but instead of Robert, a woman acts as a decoy, and since she isn't the target, Altair lets her go. The woman told us of Robert's plan to unite the warring factions against the assassins to take them out for good. So we ride to Arsuf, fighting tens of dozens of enemies to reach Robert, and after swiftly defeating him, we learn the truth about Al-Mualim.
It's done then. Your schemes, like you, are put to rest.
You know nothing of schemes. You're but a puppet. He betrayed you, boy, just as he betrayed me.
Speak sense, Templar, or not at all.
9 men he sent you to kill, yes? The 9 who guarded the treasure's secret.
What of it?
It wasn't 9 who found the treasure, assassin. Not 9, but 10.
A 10th? None may live who carry the secret. Give me his name.
Oh, but you know him well. And I doubt very much you'd take his life as willingly as you've taken mine.
Who?
It is your master, Al-Mualim.
But he is not a Templar.
Did you never wonder how it is he knew so much?
Altair, feeling betrayed by his master, races back to Masyaf. But first, back in modern day, the assassins have found Desmond and attempt to rescue him. But their forces are just too weak and they seemingly get wiped out. But what Vidic and Abstergo don't know is that Lucy is actually an assassin, and she was the one who told the assassins where Desmond is. Now, back in the Animus, Altair reaches Masyaf, only to find it besieged by Al-Mualim. He uses the power of the Peace of the Eden to control the minds of all the citizens. Altair confronts his master, and using the power of the Peace of the Eden, Al-Mualim surrounds Altair with all 9 of the Templars Altair is blindly slain, which he's forced to do again. And afterwards, Altair is forced to kill his previous master. Altair wants to destroy the Apple of Eden as well, but before he can, the apple reveals a map to every other piece of Eden, which Vidic sees along with the higher-ups who we can see lurking in the room as well. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, Desmond begins to experience the bleeding effect just like Subject 16, and this is how he finds the symbols left behind by Subject 16. Well, that concludes the story for the first game. If you watch till the end and want to see the continuation of the story, then you're in luck. I should have my video on Assassin's Creed 2 out pretty soon after this one. I've already beaten it and moved on to Brotherhood, and I have to say, I have missed out on so much not playing these games. They are fantastic, and 2 is actually amazing. I really wasn't expecting such a significant upgrade from the first game, but I have to say 2 has genuinely impressed me. We'll talk more of that in the next video, but Assassin's Creed 1 is definitely a fun game that, even though it's super repetitive with the same exact gameplay loop the entire game, the game is still really good. Like the different cities, I love how each one has like a different vibe to it. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but each one has like its own different tint filter over it, which really adds so much to make each city feel distinct. And then there's the architecture and how they made it work with the parkour. I have to say, just for a game that came out in 2007, they really did a great job. Well, anyway, I hope you have all enjoyed. If you have, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Also, make sure to use code GOLDEN at checkout at rogueenergy.com. The link will be in the description. Anyway, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.